Welcome to a new series. How the series works is I'm going to play 100 days of Satisfactory, get as far as possible in the game, share some tips and tricks to help along the way for some, make the factory grow, and hopefully beat the game within the 100 days. To aid in some places, I will show where I've built, and the interactive map I use will be in the description down below. To make this series more challenging on myself, I will be starting in the Dune Desert. I have yet to do a playthrough here, so hopefully it treats me well. In this video, I'll be tackling all of Tier 1 and Tier 2 milestones, get some basic production up, and to help out with other miscellaneous tips and tricks that hopefully will help you out. So let's get right into it. So first things first, I wanted to get logistics out of the way first to unlock splitters and make a proper starter factory. I also picked this place specifically because you have a decent room to work with, water nearby, a lot of wood to get the biomass burners up and going, but the only downside is the quality of nodes. So I started up by building the most basic factory I could, a miner Mark 1 to a smelter to a constructor. I would make one of each for plates, rods, and copper wire. I also forgot to mention, but in the middle right we have a little task list that we're going to try and get complete within the next couple of days, just something I can keep track of what I can do. Now here is where I got all my leaves and wood to get some biomass for the burners. There is a lot here to get to minimum coal power, so no need to worry about not having enough. With the chainsaw you can also get so much more from this one place. Let's pause for a second. Let me explain how the power works in here for anyone new. The capacity is how much total power you are producing within your whole grid. Max cons is how much power total the machines will need to draw if they were all turned on at once. The consumption is what is currently being consumed, and it will fluctuate a lot. As long as the capacity is greater than the max cons, you will be a-okay all the time. Alright, and just like that, we have our 4 basic materials so that we can actually start working on some of our milestones. Alright, come on, give me those logistics, finally! Wait, since when is there like a smashing button animation? What the hell?
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and...
Yo, Ada, I know you're trying to help me, but I'm not a new player here, okay? I've played the game multiple... Yo, can you stop talking, please? Alright, anyways, so now we can get some splitters and mergers into this, so should make our factory way more efficient. Well, if you want to call this a factory. Should have maybe not put that power pole right there, so what I'll do is this, then connect it there. How much are we making here? 60 per minute, so that's only 2, I think. A splitter here. Alright, so we got that done. Alright, so we got one of the drop pods here. If you don't know what a drop pod is, basically it just has a hard drive inside of it. You can scan it and get some alternate recipes or other goodies like inventory slots. And usually there's actually some stuff around it. So I know right now that there's some reinforced iron plates over here and I really don't want to craft some. And I think, well, we just messed that up already. We have enough reinforced iron plates up there to keep us going until we can actually start producing some reinforced iron plates. So, if you're low on materials, just come over to some of these. Yeah, I got 32 rotors right there, some modular frames, and 37 reinforced iron plates, more iron plates, concrete, and that's pretty much it.
Damaged for any.
Now, these will vary on what they actually have around them and what materials, or like if you need power to open them up to get the hard drive, there's like plenty of them scattered across the map, so we'll be hunting for those eventually. Is there a slight bend like that? That looks like erectile dysfunction if I've ever seen some. Okay, got both these making iron plates, so we should be making 40 per minute. Larger. Oops. Right now, let's do that to pretty much everything at this point. I also want to be making some cables to these. So we have two smelters making 30 each per minute, which is being split into two for 15 and 15. Both of these are only going to be making wire, and then these two are going to be making wire that's going to be transferred into cables, and then we're going to have a wire and cable manifold. So one of the fuses blew, so we don't have enough power for the amount of stuff that we're making, so I'll just fix that really quick. Alright, for the next milestone, I'm debating on base building and field research. Base building might actually help us a whole lot more, so we'll do that just so that everything can be centered on a grid and doesn't look like wet spaghetti noodles everywhere. Alright, so we unlock base building, but the thing is, these actually take quite a decent amount of concrete and we're not producing that much, so I'm gonna go upgrade that, and we might move everything to be like produced in like one big spot so our storage can be semi-organized, which I'll try and find a flat spot really quick. It's actually my first time building here as well, so Dune Desert is not my strong suit. I wanted something new. I got something new, so we'll see how well we do in the Dune Desert. Alright, I did work on some production for some screws, so these are just making some iron rods that just are being transferred into three things that 8 screws, so we're going to be making 120 screws per minute, which is not too shabby, not too shabby. Okay, I don't have tier 2 belts, so this is going to work at pretty slow efficiency, but once we do get the tier 2 mark belts, this should be running perfectly fine. As of now, I unlocked the chainsaw. This will unlock solid biofuel as well as making it last way longer than biomass. So I got the cutting and made a manifold for solid biofuel production. We got the biomass burners done. We got 8 total. The way it's powered is leaves and wood is going to make some biofuel. These are going to be split up kind of equally to be making some solid biofuel, and all of them are just going to be transported back into them. In 1.0, they introduced some inputs, which is making my life a whole lot easier, just because you don't have to manually input them all the time. Also unlocked the lookout tower, which just makes it easier to build, but we don't necessarily need it right now. I'm just showing you what I've done so far. This would also be a great time to start working on our next milestone. So we got, why not field research, just so we can get the MAM and get some alternate recipes that might help us in the early game here. So now we unlock the MAM. We can put in our hard drives we find in there and wait 10 minutes for them to scan. You can also scan other things that I'll be going through later. I also went on a little exploration run to get some power slugs, Mercer spheres, and some summer sloops. I'll explain these at a later time because the use of them as of now is a little obsolete. This is probably the biggest manifold yet. I have a miner mark 1 doing 120 iron ore per minute. That goes into 4 smelters that then is being split equally amongst all of these ones, and these two are going to be for plates. These ones are making rods, which are pretty much all being transformed into screws, except for just a couple, which is just fed into here. I made sure that there's at least minimum 20 going into here. I have all these ones providing screws, so I have 4 total, 160 total. Most of them are going into here because this requires 100, and then the rest are split up into here. Now this is not the best splitting, but the overflow will make it so that everything goes into this, and everything's going to be balanced out after some point after unlocking tier 2 belts. This one's producing 4 rotors per minute, and that one's going to be producing 5 reinforced iron plates per minute. After making productions for rotors and reinforced iron plates, I went ahead and mined some Caterium at this place here. This would get me advanced enough to unlock the recipes for Caterium ingots and the wires. This would later unlock the poles Mark II, having 8 inputs for wires and the smart splitters later on. You don't really have to do it at this stage, but I was waiting for materials to craft up to finalize Logistics Mark II and get the space elevator tier 1 going up. After standing here for like an agonizing 10 minutes, we unlocked some things in the Caterium tree. We can get access to a zip line, some stun rebars, the power poles Mark II, which I'm really hyped for, and smart splitters a little later on, which is going to be just wonderful for actually way bigger manufacturers. And I think down here there's like another splitter. I forgot exactly what it's called, but that's pretty much like mid to late-ish game, I would say. Next up, I need to kind of work on some quartz to get the leg things that just makes you boost up. I don't even know what they're called. Craft them once and that's pretty much it.
Milestone.
Perfect. We have tier 2 belts now. Now we can pretty much work on either of these. The sync program is not necessarily interesting until you get some like overflow of items. After completing the tier 2 belt milestone, I went ahead and placed tier 2 belts at key locations to make the manifolds fully efficient, so where the screws were and the concrete production. And then I went to this place here to get quartz and get my hands on some blade runners. Trust me, they are worth it, and getting them early on will save you a lot of time. Alright, we got all the tier 2 milestones complete. Now I have to build the space elevator. I've already made a platform here, 6x10, and I'm pretty sure it should fit here. Something just like that, and the building animation is just one of the best. Like, it's crazy. I'll just let it play out. You can see like the huge like ship or whatever it's like holding it down to like put in the materials, and it's sending upwards. It's so cool. One of my favorite animations in gaming. Alright, I finally got the 50 smart plating. I pretty much just put 50 rotors and 50 reinforced iron plates into an assembler, or whatever they're called. Yeah, assembler. And yeah, they produced me 50 plates, so let's start loading this puppy up. What do you mean a waiting cart? Oh shit, my bad. Alright, we secured the container. Oh shit, there's like a diagram of like what we're building. I didn't even realize that.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation.
Okay.
Congratulations, the Phase 1 project part shipment is now ready for delivery.
Okay.
On delivery, Phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be constructed.
I could not care less.
After completion of Phase 1, the technologies of Tiers 3 and 4 will become available.
I need this
in the hub.
and this.
Highlights are
Maybe not that.
automated power, steel production, personnel transportation, and many more. Completing Phase 2 of Project Assembly is your next main objective.
Okay.
New project parts will need to be produced and delivered to the space elevator as you have done previously.
Yep.
Continue to construct, automate, explore, and exploit for a better fix-it future.
Alright, you're just explaining too much now. Alright, thank you. Thunder up. Delivering to the project assembly. Is there like an animation for this? Oh wait, I have to stay in here for the animation or something? Perfect. What's happening? Yo, that is sick! Yo, what happened? What just happened? Yo.
Phase 1 of Project Assembly completed. This is only the beginning of Project Assembly, the first step towards saving the day. You have performed adequately so far. Reminder, not only is Fix-It saving humanity, it is saving all of Earth, including kittens and puppies. It is statistically likely
This is sick as hell.
continued existence of kittens and or puppies. Continue to work for their sake. Continue to work for Fix-It. It is time to start the work on
I can't wait to see the next one.
Project Assembly.
Alright, let's see what we've got here. We got tier 3, so we got some coal power. That's definitely going to be worked on next, as well as probably some Caterium, if I could speak properly. Maybe the vehicular transport just for the inventory slots. Basic steel production. Steel beams are so much easier to make than reinforced iron plates. It's crazy for tier 3 marked belts. Might get this shortly. Then, oh, blueprints. I don't necessarily use too much blueprints, but I think I should. Mark 3 advanced steel production. Oh, okay, yeah, we got the power storage and then the hyper tube, so we can just fling ourselves across the map. Alright, well, we got a lot to work on, so yeah, we should get going on that.